Let's begin. So connect to our Ujjayi breath. And gently reach the sit bones and the tailbone downward as you effortlessly lift the skull bones upward. And just learn if that alters your sense of verticality in your body. Did you grow lighter? Did you grow taller? So when things move is often and exactly when we can begin to have a relationship with them. Right? It's alive. And we can start to be active and interrelating with it. Our perception is no different. As soon as our perception begins to shift, our breath starts to shift, we can feel that, we can notice that, we can relate with it. So feel for breathing in and through your core. Does it grow luminous? Is there any contact whatsoever? So it's an inward move, it's a feeling, it's a return to sensing. And it's getting a felt sense of being in the center of our body. Let's use some rounds of Brahmari to further this. There's no doubt when there's sound, there's something moving. So feel for movement around your core, in your core. Just where there's movement, we can start to have relationship. We'll do several rounds. Let's plan on six rounds of Brahmari. Deep inhalation, keeping the lips gently closed. Here we go. And when we resume our Ujjayi breath, learn, sense, is there any more motion? Is there any more give, take, breath, body? Is there more current, more fluency somewhere? When we straddle these worlds of psychotherapy and the West's work on our, our shadow, our history, and the Eastern traditions, we find there's a great deal of overlap. Right? Whereas the Western psychotherapy traditions may talk of little hitches or grievances or projections. The Eastern traditions can say, and it's palpable. We can go into those things and liberate the sequestered energy therein. So we take 3 more rounds of Brahmari, just 3 more. If there was an area that felt kind of stiff or stagnant, I encourage you, just offer that a little bit more loving sound. I'm not trying to obliterate this stiffness or stuckness, but just start to massage it carefully into fluency, into relationship, into circulation again. 3 more rounds. If you perceived a little sound block, that could be a kind of a cool area to learn more about. 3 more rounds. Sound. Did it feel stuck somewhere? And let's generously offer it a little sound for circulation. Here we go. Sometimes things start to get moving. We get a little more information. Maybe there's a little emotional flavor, a little energetic flavor, a heaviness, a lightness. How interesting. Let's change gears here. We'll move into knee pile, right knee over left knee. I'm so glad we're all here, everyone. Thanks. All right. Unlocking the shoulder. Bring your left elbow up, shoulder height. Spread the hand bones. And Tweebs, when you do this, more like pack the shoulder than send the shoulder forward. So you can take a more packing action. Yeah. Inhale into the sides of the rib around the breast, the chest, the sternum, spine. And then exhaling, draw that left shoulder down away from the earlobe. So we can all do this. And we can all draw that left shoulder blade down. And if that elbow has wavered, just readjust, set it right up in front of that shoulder. Spread the hand bones. There we go. Now let's take that right palm to the inside of the left elbow. Exhaling, we'll be pressing both palm into elbow and elbow into palm. As you press, turn on both sets of chest muscles. So the left and the right. And just bring the head back over the pelvis. Perfect. Spreading the hand bones again and the foot bones while we're at it. Inhale. So you're getting into the heart space, moving breath, moving our awareness into the heart. Exhale, the shoulder down, the blade down, press palm, press elbow. And as long as your shoulder agrees to this, reach the elbow forward. You may feel that shoulder blade starting to slide forward. Now there's one more move. Inhale, right where there's some motion. You might feel it as heat. You might feel it as a little squirminess. Exhale, the shoulder down, the blade down as you press elbow and palm together. Move your left forearm and your left knuckles a bit to the left, almost like you're turning a key in a lock. Release. Frequently, that enlivens some areas around the upper trapezius and skull and shoulder. And if that's true for you, let's take one deep breath just to feel the shoulder, the neck, the jaw, the skull. Let's switch the cross of our legs. Knee pile other side, left over right. And the right elbow up. We'll spread the hand bones. And there's a minute difference between spreading the bones of the hand and rigidifying the joints of the wrist and the hand. Learn if you can do the former. Just spread the bones without adding rigidity to the wrist joints and the finger joints. Inhale. Feeling your breath situate between sternum and spine. Exhale, take the right shoulder down away from the ear. Draw the right shoulder blade down. There's some back and armpit muscle that turns on. Okay. Let's keep the feet active, head lined up over pelvis. Inhale. Exhaling, draw the shoulder down, the blade down. Let's place that left palm to the inside of the right elbow. Press them both together. Press till you feel both sets of chest muscles turn on. Now, when both sets of chest muscles turn on, stay with it. We'll relax the face muscles, the eyes as we inhale. You feel that motion, that movement of breath. Exhale, shoulder down, blade down. Press palm, press elbow together. Spread the hand bones, and if it's agreeable on your shoulder, reach the elbow forward. Feel that shoulder blade moving around the rib cage, and we'll stay with it. Just let it percolate a little bit. It's okay. Inhale into those upper trapezius. So you're bringing breath to circulate right in there. Exhaling, shoulder down, blade down. Press palm, press elbow together, and carefully move that right forearm, the right hand bones to the right. It's like a little key turn. And release. Wowie. Place soles of feet together, Baddha Konasana. Both sides. So bring elbows up, both of them. Okay. Now, there's a little bit of a tendency to kind of smush down and round the spine. So it can stay really tall as we work this. Inhale into upper back, feeling that area between the shoulder blades. Can you feel both sets of ribs moving? Exhale, shoulders down, blades down. And now press on an imaginary beach ball with your elbows. So squeeze. Both sets of chest muscles turn on, moving the palms subtly apart. Inhale right between the ears. How do I feel there? Exhale, shoulder down, blades down, squeeze elbows toward one another, turning on the chest wall, reach the elbows forward. And release. Okay. Nothing should be buzzy or numb when we do that. If that occurs for you, make sure you let me know at some point and we'll work it out. All right. So let's take that into some dolphin. Come on to your elbows and your knees. We set the elbows under the shoulders, the forearms out in parallel. And all of those same moves, gliding the shoulders toward the hips, away from the neck, flexing the chest muscles on as we inhale, curling toes under, and exhaling, smoothly press the knees off the ground. There might be a couple of us for whom working the shoulder overhead is much more challenging than working with the shoulder, the arms straight out in front of us. So what you can do in this dolphin is by keeping the knees significantly bent, it's like working dolphin with your arms in front of your torso. As you straighten your knees, it's more like working your arms overhead. And that can be a really great stretch, or that could put you into some sketchy shoulder territory. Okay, if you've had, some history of shoulder stuff. Okay. Inhaling into the heart, the ribs around the heart. And with your exhale, engage the legs. So you're reaching through the heels, the leg bones. Can you feel the pelvis lifting, lengthening away from your ribs? In these final few breaths in dolphin, start to involve the low belly muscles in that exhalation. So you're pulling the ribs, the front of the ribs, away from the collar, away from the armpit. And we'll set the knees down for exit. And then let's lie on our back. So we can love on those lower abdomen areas even more. We'll be working this inner leg engagement by putting one foot to the inner other thigh. It's like a figure four, a tree pose, or brolga. Okay. I'll talk us through the steps. Inhale, the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. Just a little bit is all we need. Now pausing, top of inhalation, just feel the back bones and muscles against the mat. Exhale, left leg reaches out. Help your right foot to your inner left thigh and squeeze that inner left thigh into the foot. As you reach out through the inner left foot, pull low belly down. And we'll let that up. Inhale, let it up, bend the knees so that they're over the hip. Curl tailbone. Exhale, right leg reaches out. Help the left foot to the inner right thigh. Squeeze inner right thigh into the left foot. Draw low belly down. Inhale, bend knees. Keeping those shoulder blades off ground. Pause, curl tailbone. Exhale, left leg reaches out. Sole of right foot presses into the thigh. Press, engage, outreach, pull low belly down. Inhale, bend knees. Curl tailbone. Exhale, right leg reaches out. Left foot to the inner right thigh. Press inner right leg into the foot. Reaching out. Pull low belly down. Inhale. Knees over hips. Let's do two more on each side. Go ahead. And let that pressure on the inner thigh involve the inner knee, inner calf, all the way to the inner foot. So it really is that inner half of the straightened leg. There should be no stress in the hip socket. There should be nothing that feels slippy, clunky, or funny. Just muscular engagement that creates a little bit of motion or perhaps movement in the hips sacrum. When we set the feet down, grab a hold of your roll. Place the roll between legs. Now we do two at the same time. I can't emphasize enough how the involvement of the inner legs plays into everything from our inversions, kicking up into things like handstand, scissors, all sorts of inversions, twists. I can't emphasize enough how getting these inner legs to be felt, to be moved, plays into so many roles in our other poses. Inhale into the low belly, low back. Pausing, squeeze your roll with both inner legs. Slightly shift the tailbone up. Exhale, the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. Now maintain the squeeze and track feeling through the inner knees, the inner calves. Feel the inner ankles. Feel the insides of the feet. Pull low belly down. Inhaling, place the head down, let up on that squeeze, that roll. There we go. Squeeze, roll, girl tailbone. Exhale, float head and shoulders off the ground. Now, as you're getting a little more aliveness and feeling and energy moving through those legs, relax the head into the hands. Draw the low belly down. Inhale, head to ground, relaxing a lot of that squeeze. So you always have a moment to offload those pressures. Pause, squeeze. You're getting those inner thighs working. Curl tailbone. Exhale, head and shoulder blades off the ground. And we also remember there's some really large lymph nodes right here in our hip area. So squeezing is also part of expressing those things that we don't need in the body, the garbage, the waste. Pull low belly down. Inhale, head to ground. Let's say we'll do 3 more. Let's do those at our own pace. So when you're ready, last 3 on your own. When you are entirely through, we can remove the roll. Know that we'll head into bridge. So if you like using a block in your bridge, set it nearby. Align the feet in parallel, about hip distance apart. Now inhaling into abdomen, pelvis, low back. Exhaling, shift the tailbone toward the sky. You'll feel that whole almost rocking action of pelvis as the buttock lifts up. Halfway up, I can feel my hamstrings, the backs of my thighs engaged. The value of this is it tends to turn down some of that activity of the hip flexors, the fronts of the hips. I actually like to involve those backs of legs. Insert the block as you need to. Now, I'm not suggesting cramp the backs of your legs, but you can exert a almost pulling move. Like you're pulling the calves toward your shoulder blades. As you pull the calves toward your shoulder blades, the backs of your legs engage, and there's this commensurate shift of the pelvis. Now breathing into pelvis and low back. Start to grow the mid-spine away from the low spine. Start to grow the upper spine away from the mid-spine. As breath reaches into more areas of our body, We can attune to that fluid quality, interfacing through more and more of our person. You can feel the almost gradient of each breath. You can feel the drag or the lightness, the encumbrance or the viscosity. And there's a lot of information on each of those breaths. What is our relationship to those instances of drag or viscosity or motion? Now, settling that left foot into the earth. Inhale, let's pick the right foot up, reaching it skyward. Now, if there's any sacral or back issues, you may find it's a little nicer to keep the knee bent. Okay? If there's no issues, no pain, reach right leg skyward. And we'll switch sides, bringing right foot down to ground. Plant it. Inhale the left knee toward chest, exhaling. Left leg skyward. Now, if you can maintain that back of right leg involvement, kind of grabbing the ground, getting the back of the leg, the butt, the ham, the back of the thigh involved. You can often get quite lengthy through the low back, through the spine. And inhaling, bend. Set left foot down to ground. Position feet to lift off block. And begin our descent. The upper back, the mid back, and the low back. When you turn over onto a side, let's stand up. Take a hip width stance. We're working Agnisara. Agnisara, we're flapping, moving the belly in and relaxing it. So here we go. Inhaling into low belly, low back. Now exhaling everything out. Remain empty. Draw the belly in, back and up. Let it go. Draw the belly in, back and up. Let it go. Draw the belly in, back and up. Let it go. Let's take some breaths. Okay, we will do another round. If you want to expedite the drawings in and the flappings out, you can do so. You can make them a little flappier. So here we go. Inhaling. Exhale everything out. Remaining empty, we draw the belly in, back and up. And release and repeat. Until you need a breath. And take a couple breaths. We'll do 2 more rounds. Let's do those at our own pace, because we might be moving quite a bit differently from each other. 2 more rounds, Agnisara, as slow or as fast as you want to take the flapping part of the round. And if you haven't tried this in a while, if your feet are hip width and you shift some weight into your left foot and shift some weight into your right foot, you can feel a little bit of like an asymmetric pooling, or the beginnings of Nauli. And that could be kind of cool and fun. Start to feel that draw a little differently through the guts. Okay. Now when you're through, let's stand at the top of our mat. Inhale, draw the arms up, spreading the hand bones. Reach, so you're getting into the elbow joints and the shoulder joints. Exhale, fold forward. Use those low abdominals to exhale thoroughly. Inhale, step the left foot back, lunge. Again, reach those arms up so you're starting to get into that shoulder area. Hands to ground, exhaling, step right foot back, lower, all the way down to the ground. Cobra. Plant those palms down, inhale, push, elevating chest, pull, lengthening through core. Exhaling, lower down, downward dog. Lunge. Inhale, left foot forward. Hands to ground. Exhale, step right foot forward, folding. Fold, exhaling with your low belly muscles. Find those each and every time. Inhale, stand, drawing the arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Exhale till empty, empty, empty. Inhale, draw the arms up, spread the hand bones. Exhaling with your low abdominals, folding. So you keep moving that navel area material back away from the ground as you fold. Lunge, inhale, right foot back, place knee down. Hands to ground, exhale, left foot back. And we'll lower to the ground, pulling shoulders away from neck. Cobra, inhale. So right here is where I'm squeezing my inner thighs toward one another, just like that abdominal we did. Exhaling, lower, downward dog. Lunge. Inhale, right foot forward. Setting left knee down. Hands to ground. Exhale, step left foot forward. folding. And can you feel that navel area part of your belly moving away from your big toe? Inhale, stand, draw the arms up. Spread the hand bones, the foot bones. Exhaling, hands to heart. So that's what I would call two suns. And we're going to do 4 more. We'll do those at our own pace. So when you're ready, here we go. 4 more. We'll meet back. So in a lot of these little cues, little movements, we're encouraging movement in the body. Let me just list through some of these little movements. Spreading the hand bones and the foot bones. Exhaling till completely empty. So feeling that navel moving away from your big toe in that fold. Right? There's the obvious kind of concrete movements of our appendages, our torso, our bones. Of course, we can feel for those movements. And movement is a pretty good sign of life. When you finish those 4 rounds, just remain standing at the top. It'll give me a little visual sense. Great. Chair pose. Inhale, bend knees, reach arms overhead. And again, open up the hands, reach through those arms. So start to get into the armpit and the upper back. Exhale, fold forward, straightening the legs, softening through the neck, drawing the navel away from the toenail. Monkey, inhale, collar away from navel. Exhaling, step or lightly jump feet back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. So the tops of feet on the ground. Squeezing those inner legs together as I pull the chest forward. Exhaling, downward dog. Warrior one. Inhale, let's step the right foot forward. And I'm going to grab a strap on my way up. Okay, warrior one. Right foot forward. And let's begin with our arms overhead. So do a little subtle, I don't even want to say traction, but it's just a little perceptual shift with regards to our brain and our core. Brain cradling, or Lance Dodger with brain cradling. So place the right hand behind our head and our left forearm behind our back. So the left forearm and wrist bones can press down against the pelvis, and the right hand cradles the back of the brain as I reach the right elbow up. Now again, I'm not pulling on my spine, I'm not pulling on my neck whatsoever. Inhaling, spread your breath between your hands. Exhaling as you reach up through the right elbow, as you press down through the left forearm. Yeah, warrior one. It doesn't matter how minute that feels, but can you feel any shift in your verticality? Core. So do you feel the center, the spine of your person lengthening, softening? Is there a growing sense of buoyancy? So in these little ways, so we feel our perception shift. Little ways is often all that it takes to have a new relationship to our body. And when we release, if you need a strap for Archer, grab the strap for Archer. Okay? Same-sidedness, the right hand can lower the strap to the left hand. Archer. Inhaling. Grow your breath through the core. Spreading, moving the skull bones away from the tailbone. Exhaling, reach left elbow down, reach right elbow up. We may feel an area that's a little stuck or breath doesn't quite get as fluidly into some region. Can you bathe that area in your kind, your loving, feeling awareness? It's actually lovingly trying to feel it back into circulation. Listening it back into circulation. And when we release, inhale, we'll unwind, straighten the right leg, and we'll adjust our feet for pyramid. So I like a slightly shorter stance, fold forward. You can place your hands on your leg or block. As you spread your breath through the back, the spine side, and into the shoulders. Because what we had just done the last couple of poses was just learned if we could make slight shifts in how we perceive our core. We'll feel the skull bones melting down away from the neck bones. Okay, bending right knee. Inhale, hands to ground. Exhaling, Chaturanga. We step back, kind of squeeze all those inner thigh parts on as we lower. Inhale, upward dog. Now, please do use Cobra if it's a better move for you. Exhaling, downward dog. Okay, warrior one. Inhale, step left foot forward. There will be an archer in our future. You can set the strap up for it. But we'll start with this lance dodger move. Right forearm goes to our back by the pelvis. Left hand goes to the back of the head, cradling the underbrain and making up body parts here. Okay. So feet active. And again, it's very gentle suggestions. Just the suggestion of pressing the right forearms down. And just the suggestion of reaching the left elbow up. Can you feel a little shift in your verticality? And you might include, Matt, the feeling of the very top of the head, the middle of the brain, making sure that that is included in your perception of core. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There you go. Now when we release, if you need a strap for archer, grab the strap for archer. Okay? Same-sidedness, the right hand can lower the strap to the left hand. Archer. Inhaling. Grow your breath through the core. Spreading, moving the skull bones away from the tailbone. Exhaling, Reach left elbow down, reach right elbow up. We may feel an area that's a little stuck or breath doesn't quite get as fluidly into some region. Can you bathe that area in your kind, your loving, feeling awareness? It's actually lovingly trying to feel it back into circulation. Listening it back into circulation. And when we release, inhale, we'll unwind, straighten the right leg, and we'll adjust our feet for pyramid. So I like a slightly shorter stance, fold forward. You can place your hands on your leg or block. As you spread your breath through the back, the spine side, and into the shoulders. Because what we had just done the last couple of poses was just learned if we could make slight shifts in how we perceive our core. And feel the skull bones melting down away from the neck bones. Okay, bending right knee. Inhale, hands to ground. Exhaling, Chaturanga. We step back, kind of squeeze all those inner thigh parts on as we lower. Inhale, upward dog. Please do use Cobra if it's a better move for you. Exhaling, downward dog. Okay, warrior one. Inhale, step left foot forward. There will be an archer in our future. You can set the strap up for it. But we'll start with this lance dodger move. Right forearm goes to our back by the pelvis. Left hand goes to the back of the head, cradling the underbrain and making up body parts here. Okay. So feet active. And again, it's very gentle suggestions. Just the suggestion of pressing the right forearms down. And just the suggestion of reaching the left elbow up. Can you feel a little shift in your verticality? And you might include, Matt, the feeling of the very top of the head, the middle of the brain, making sure that that is included in your perception of core. There we go. Now when we release, if you need a strap for archer, let the left hand lower it down to the right. Same basic hand positions. As you reach that left elbow up, you can get quite a bit of that lat stretch. And when we release from archer, set that strap down anywhere. Pyramid. Straighten the left leg. Shore up the stance. So bringing the right foot closer to the left foot. You can go wider, like 3 feet. And we fold forward. So we're all going to encounter moments of that feeling of stuckness. Some of us will feel the stuckness as being having physical stuckness, like a loss of range of motion. Some of us may feel like a creative stuckness, a psychological stuckness. Like I'm stuck in this particular way of viewing someone or something. But I want to take it one step further, because if we really zero in on this feeling of stuckness, there's often a location. Whether it's in your body or in your field, you can often locate it. And when you can locate it, you can begin to embrace it with your breath. It's like wrapping it up warmly with your breath, like, I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen you into circulation. And when we bend that left knee, inhale, hands to ground, exhaling, Chaturanga. And there's really nothing wrong with a feeling of stuckness, right? Inhaling, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Like if I'm bleeding profusely, I want all my platelets and blood cells to aggregate and get stuck at the wound site. Like I do. I want things to get sticky sometimes. I want to be able to stop a hemorrhage. But our intuition says that sometimes that's not the healthiest state. Okay? Let's have a little fun. Inhale, step the right foot forward, revolved pyramid. So revolved is kind of a twist move. So straight-legged stance, placing the left hand down. I'm choosing a block. The right arm reaches skyward. Now, if you like more challenge for this, just set the block or set your left hand to the outside of your right foot. Good, now pull, draw the sit bones away from the back of your heart. So use those legs really strongly, Megan. And if you can't feel that shift, that lengthening through your core, you might want to prop your hand up a little bit higher. So you can use both legs to draw the pelvis back. Again, a little shift in our core, our verticality, our spine. Inhaling, bring the right hand down to the thigh, bend the right leg. We're moving in a little bit more, easy twisting warrior. So now I put my left hand to the inside of my left foot. I'm wriggling my left foot back. I'm opening up my stance and then raising the right arm again. I'm twisting, chest opening the exact same way. I've just changed my stance so I can hang out a little bit more in this side twist. So you might feel, as you encounter a little bit of maybe stuckness in your body, do you notice the relationship, the attitude toward that quality? Do we interpret it as an irritation? Oh, there's that darn stuck thing always gumming up the works. Or do we take a loving embrace type of stance? When things aren't growing or aren't advancing or are not progressing or circulating, can we love them anyway? Is our embrace large enough, inclusive enough to hold, to love even those things that are not ready to move yet? Inhale, let's bring the right hand down to the ground. Exhaling Chaturanga, so we step the right foot back. Inhaling upward dog or Cobra. You always have the option with me. Exhaling downward dog. So do that Revolved Pyramid on the other side. Inhale, left foot forward. This is a straight-legged stance plus a chest opening or a twist. So we'll place the right hand down on block or ground, reaching the left arm skyward. Here's where those inner legs come into play again. Remember those things. If I can engage those inner legs, they'll help me pull those sit bones away from the back of my heart. Inhaling, slightly unwind, bend the left knee, put the left hand on the left thigh. Let's adjust the feet. Open up the stance. So we're back in a warrior one stance. Bring the right hand to the right of your front foot and raise again left arm. Inhaling, bring both hands down to the ground. Exhaling, Chaturanga. We'll step left foot back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhale, right foot forward, warrior two. So now in warrior two, I'm going to give the hands a little love. Place your left palm out in front of your navel and use your right hand, and we'll go digit by digit. Just slowly draw back. So I'm starting with the littlest finger, feet active. Inhale. Now exhale, that left shoulder can soften. The palm heel melts away from your navel as you draw that pinky back. If you kind of get a little drifty, sometimes it happens, we just recommit to sensing, because in that sensing is how we'll determine these shifts in perspective. Right. So next finger. So feel that stretch in the hand. It can be mild. Perception is not just a cognitive thing. It's a feeling thing. It involves the senses. When the capacities of my sensing become stunted, in some ways, perspectively, I get stuck. Right? So we all know this about ourselves. We probably have maybe it's a little attitude or a belief that can feel adolescent or childish. Right? It's like there's a little area of growth that's maybe stuck at age 11 or age 7 or age 20. We all have them. Right? Inhale, reach arms out to the side, extended warrior variation. Exhaling, we'll go right forearm to the thigh, left hand behind back. Left hand will grab onto the thigh. I'm using the left hand to pull, not just the elbow, not just the shoulder, the whole chest, the whole rib cage. Turns. Now, so I don't feel this as a pinching or a collapsing in my low back. I press out through that left heel. Now, when we release this left hand, we're setting up for scissors. Aha! If you need to be light on your wrists today, I encourage you to tuck the right arm under the thigh and just work partial scissors. You can work like a head to ankle is like partial scissors. Okay, you can set the left knee down and just work the more split-like component of scissors. And then scissors, if you're working that move, getting the left side of your waist to contact the left elbow. Walking the feet apart. And shifting very smoothly. Now here again, the inner legs. I'm pulling that inner right leg down into my right arm. Okay. Inhaling, set that left foot down, and we'll step the right foot back. Downward dog. inhale your left foot forward, warrior two, wrist stretch. So I've got my right palm in front of my navel. And I'll lightly draw the pinky back, inhaling. Exhaling, melting that right shoulder down, melting the palm forward, the hand bones apart. As I soften, energy can move. If I can feel how the body is flowing, moving, circulating, in flux, that helps me establish a relationship with that. It's really hard to have a relationship with a stuck thing, a static thing, an unmoving thing, an unyielding artifact. When we get through that, inhale, reach arms out to the side, extended warrior variation, exhaling left forearm to left thigh, right hand behind back. Latch onto a thing, thigh, clothing. And as you're relaxing the neck, it feels a little stiff. That's cool, that's interesting. What's your attitude? What's our relationship toward that stiffness? How do we feel as we arrive toward these less than circulating parts of ourself, our experience? How do we meet it? Is it welcome to be there? Is it welcome to unfurl and unwind and grow at its own right rate? Do we get impatient? Come on, hurry up, unstuck yourself. Grow up already. When we release the right hand, scissors or any partial variation thereof. So we inhale the hands to the ground. Partial variations include head to ankle, splits, or just working one leg up. Otherwise, scissors, tuck left arm under left thigh. I turn my right hand fingertips just a slight bit to the right, like 3 o'clock. I work my feet apart, walk them apart. And as I ease right hip toward right elbow, I start to involve my inner thighs. Here, I'm pulling my left inner leg down against my left arm. And I'm reaching my right inner leg away from my elbow. I'm working it very much like a lunge. It's usually the inner leg squeeze that we miss. That's the most common, I think, miss, if you'll allow me to call it as such. That's it. Nice, Megan. And when you're ready to exit, of course, we'll set the right foot down. Step the left foot back, downward dog. All right. 2 more moves. Inhale, step your right foot forward for Interlock Warrior. Now, before we get settled in there, I want you to know our next move is Easy Bird of Paradise. So if you want to bring your setup a little closer to the wall or a piece of furniture, just know that it's coming and you might like that balance. All right, Interlock Warrior. Right arm under right thigh, left hand behind back. It's like vertical scissors. We're getting toward vertical scissors. Now this move too. Inhale. The heart toward the front of my mat. Reaching out that left back heel. I turn. I don't just pull on my hands or my elbow or my shoulder. I'm turning, opening the entire chest, the entire rib cage. Easy bird. Inhale, step your left foot toward your right foot. And raise your right foot. And here's where you might end up using a little auxiliary support. Good. And keep lifting right through the solar plexus. Michelle, there you go. Good. Inhale, bring that right foot down. If you still have the hands clasped, step the left foot back first, and then we can unwind, moving directly back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward in Interlock Warrior. Last 2 moves. Last side. Left arm under left thigh. Right hand behind back. Good. Ready to move. Here we go. Easy bird. Inhale the right foot closer to your left foot. Now we're standing on the right foot as we raise the left. So if you so the leg should never feel like it's just hanging the shoulder out of place. So that's where a step or a chair tweebs might be really helpful, like working the interlock or stepping that left foot up will help support the shoulder. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, Give it just another couple breath moments. So you have to active with that left shoulder, lift the chest. Yeah, use that left shoulder actively. Yes, 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 yes. You don't want that leg to just pull on the shoulder ligaments. Good. Inhale, step that left foot down, step the right foot back, then unwind. Chaturanga. Let's complete this sun. Stepping back. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhale, step or lightly jump feet forward, monkey. Exhaling, fold. Feel that navel moving away from your big toes. Chair pose. Inhale, bend knees, reach arms overhead. Stand, exhaling, hands to heart. All right, it's time to have a seat. And let's lie on our back and do a little bit of a release prior to Shavasana. So as you lie back, straighten your left leg along the ground. And you can either grab your right foot with your hands or a strap and do a lying splits. Okay, so I've got my right foot I've captured with a strap. I'm breathing into the low back. And release. We'll trade sides. And set the right foot down on the ground. Looping up the left foot. And in this final fold or splits-like move, if you feel a slowing or a stiffness or an area where it feels a little unmoving, start to dial up your mindfulness. Get really curious. What's my attitude? What's my feeling toward that artifact? Do I feel kindly toward it? And when you release Shavasana, let's lie back and take this in through rest. So when you're feeling the movement in the places in your body that have opened up, that are more lively, do we celebrate those? I grew up in a religious tradition that has a really great story of the prodigal son. When the son is returned home, in homecoming, seeing that the son is alive, there's a great feast and celebration. He's alive, and he's home. Us too, when we return to our most lively condition, our core, our home, do we celebrate that? This is me. I'm alive. I'm home in this body. So may we lovingly embrace those seeming stuck areas. May we celebrate every return to a more lively, impassioned way of living. If you feel ready, I invite you to bend knees, turn to a side, and press up. I'm grateful for us all getting to be together. Namaste.